of their life, we are trying to remove their discriminative views from their minds. So it is funded from the Japan Institute for Sekai, Rev.M. Sakai, every year send the money for the 3 years. It's a 3 years program. After 3 years we have to look after by ourselves. So that is one example that grassroots level Sri Lanka Council of Religion for Peace has implemented to promote the peace and harmony among different religious students. So in national level, we know recently many issues occurred in Sri Lanka between Buddhists and Muslims, sometimes Buddhists and Christians also. So one example is, in the Dhammajothi premises, Buddhist temple, one small praying huts created by the Muslim was demolished by the Buddhist monks and some other Buddhist followers. That place was functioning for more than 30 years, as I heard. It's a small place. Those who come to the city, Muslim people come to the city, they come there and pray. But suddenly they started to pray with the loudspeaker, so very near to our ancient Buddhist temple. Then the Buddhist people got angry and went to that place and attacked that place. So many views came regarding this. Some people, Buddhist side, so many people said that it is unfair that Muslim mosque should not be built near our sacred shrine. It should be go out of that place. Then the other side they say, no, we should live together. So what is the wrong if the mosque built near the temple? So many arguments came. But anyway, as a religious council, we condemn that attack. That is not the way to solve the problem. We should follow the harmonious way to stop that kind of thing. Whether that is wrong or not, illegal or not illegal, we do not agree with that action against attacking the Muslim place. So our religious leaders came to the media and we condemned it in public. So halal issue came recently. Same thing happened. The Muslims started to give the certificate to the halal certificate to the all foods and even the non-foods. Everything is a commerce. It was a commerce. It's a business matter. They give halal certificate for everything, even not eating foods. So our Buddhists and the non-Buddhists also came to fight each other. It was almost to start a war. But the government was silent. Government should take action. And government should take action to stop. Otherwise they should take a platform to both sides and to negotiate. Because in such cases, government becomes silent because they don't want to lose the votes from both sides. They leave the ball to the society until they become a tyrant and fighting each other. So government also has responsibility to build peace and harmony. The religious community also have, and also our wise civil society also should take action to promote peace and harmony in our society. So all of my summary of this paper is the promoting peace and harmony among the different religious groups is not the responsibility only of the religious leaders. Other stakeholders should take action together. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Venerable Dhammajothi. Some key points that the importance of multi-stakeholder partnerships, engaging political, civil society, and religious sectors, all together working for peace and reconciliation. And Venerable mentioned two examples. One is the kindergarten building project for Sinhalese and Tamils from all religious communities in former the war zone, the Babylon. So that preschool has become the symbol for interreligious dialogue and collaboration for children. And at the national level, he mentioned the tensions between Buddhist and Muslim communities and quickly local interreligious mechanisms took action, organized a press conference and eased the tensions. So that kind of quick visibility of multi-religious solidarity in times of crisis and conflict is also a very important lesson for all of us. So thank you so much. And next we invite Father Giorgio Marengo. He is the Catholic priest, a member of the Consolata missionaries, and having MA from the Rev.M Pontifical Council, Pontifical University of Albania, Indiana, and he was sent to Mongolia in 2003. So he's been there working on many projects, including the translation of liturgical books into Mongolian language.
Thank you. According to recent UN data, 53% of the Mongolian citizens identify themselves with Buddhism, while for 38% of them there is no religious affiliation at all, and for the rest 5% of the population is Muslim, 2% shamanist, and 2% Christian. Within the Christian minority, only a tiny group belongs to the Roman Catholic Church, which I here represent. Less than 1,000 individuals in Mongolia are Catholics. Therefore, coming from a group that statistically counts only the 0.02% of a majority Buddhist country, it is a great honor for me to be here in one of the most sacred places for the Buddhist tradition and in such a respectful congregation of venerable figures from different countries. As far as we are concerned, despite the insignificance of numbers, our experience in the land of Genghis Khan has deep roots in history. In Mongolia, the Buddhist tradition, Buddhist-Christian relations benefit from one of the strongest bonds in the Asian continent. Nestorian Christianity in Mongolia goes back to the 8th century, and it got used to coexist with the prevalent Buddhist tradition received from Tibet. Then, in the multi-ethnic and religious landscape of the Mongolian Great Empire, the ruling Khans were known to be particularly tolerant towards all the religions practiced in their territories. This is Genghis Khan. You may have seen his face before. These images refer to the great tradition of diplomatic relationships between the Holy See and the Mongolian Khans, the Mongolian emperors. Therefore, in our actual commitment to promote dialogue and mutual understanding, we can refer to a positive history of Pacific interaction and perhaps share this experience across Asia and the rest of the world. After the epic of medieval exchanges, even supported by diplomatic initiatives between Roman pontiffs and Mongolian emperors, the mutual relations decreased until almost disappearing due to the diminishing of Christian believers, too isolated from their leadership, and the concurrent growth of Buddhism that gradually became a state religion. The re-encounter between Buddhists and Christians in more recent times somehow happened in a critical moment of the country's history, a moment marked by tears indeed. Mongolia was slowly recovering from 70 years of communist regime when the first missionaries came to the land of Genghis Khan in the early 90s of last century. And during that communist regime, many Buddhist monks suffered harsh persecution, with thousands of monks sentenced to death or forced to abandon their belief, considered a dangerous hindrance to the atheistic society imported from the Soviet Union. The rapid change to a faint democracy took place in a context of widespread poverty. There was a clear call for the Church to get involved in initiatives of social promotion. Christian missionaries of various denominations started implementing human development projects that took different shapes, from simple insertions in poor areas to wide-scale programs in the fields of education and health. The Vatican was among the first states to be formally invited to establish diplomatic relations with Mongolia. Thus, the Catholic Church, unlike other Christian groups, has since then been present in a very official way. A few years ago, the head of one of the biggest monasteries in Mongolia met with Pope Benedict XVI. In these 23 years of legal establishment, the Catholic Church has always played a leading role in promoting human rights and fighting the consequences of poverty and underdevelopment. As Christians in a Buddhist country, we share our spiritual treasures and our material resources because we strongly believe that fraternity and sorority wipes away tears. A long list of initiatives should be recalled here, from caring centers for street children opened in the capital